ॐ रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायापतये नमः। लक्ष्मीकरोतु कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्प्रदां शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते। हरि ओम। Jai Mata Di, Jai Siya Ram, and welcome to Hinduism in Focus. This program, as you know, comes to you through the kind compliments and blessings of the Sanatan Vedic Dharma Pandit Sabha Region 3. We are in this glorious observance of Navaraatri, and we are also rapidly coming to its conclusion. We are just midway, and on Thursday of this week, the 26th, we will conclude it with a grand observance of Ram Navami. And so it is in the spirit of the occasion, one, and in an effort to continue from where we left off last week, we will continue our discourse today and the rest of the week. But there will be special emphasis on the Ram Navami, or what we call the appearance, the birth or incarnation of Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra, the supreme and blessed person, the supreme and blessed Lord of this universe, as it were. This Navaratri, as we have established over the past week or so, 5 discourses, is called by 3 main names. 1, Chaitra Navaratri, 2, Vasant Navaratri, and 3, Rama Navaratri. And we went into details from different angles as to historical ideas behind it, and of course the what we call the religious or the spiritual fervor of it all. And so I encourage you to go back to these programs. They are widely available across the social media platform on the Hindu Media Guyana YouTube channel, Hindu Media Guyana Facebook page, the Sabhas page, Hinduism in Details Facebook page. So many platforms you can have these, and you can keep them also for posterity, for we are doing this to give a comprehensive overview and to give, as it were, the true essence, trying to look at the finer points and ideas surrounding all of our observances, our shastras, our history, and so making our whole effort greater, better towards the growth and development of growth and preservation of the Sanatana Dharma that we are also proud of to have inherited, to have been born into, and to take on this mantle and to follow the precedent that has been set by those great people before us. We are continuing this Navaratri, and today I want us to just look, though this Navaratri end goal is the appearance of Bhagavan Rama, we also have come to incorporate mother worship. In fact, this is the most prominent and widespread meaning of this Navaratri. And so in that spirit also, it is good to always show the connection. And this connection comes from the fact of Vasant. That is called Vasant Navaratri, which means the Navaratri of the spring. As you know, in Bharat or India, now is actually spring. And spring means all flora and fauna, the entirety of nature is coming back to alive, is coming back to fresh, a new lease of life. All the birds are returning to the trees. That the trees before, the trees have now started to become green. So the grass starts to shoot out again. And so everybody returns to the field. The whole atmosphere environment gets a whole fresh new look, a look of vibrancy, a look of life itself, compared to winter when everything is shut down in nature. So this return of spring, a true symbol of the return of happiness, the return of life to every creature, forget about the human being, to every life form, including plants, flora and fauna. When the trees start to become green, when then the birds, the fauna comes, the birds start to come back to their natural habitat, the animals go back to their natural habitat, you can hear the chirping of the birds, and so everything gets a fresh lease of life. It is that return to life that is celebrated the first 9 days or night of the Hindu New Year, that is this Navaraatri, that is celebrated in reverence, that is celebrated in worship, that is celebrated in adoration of the Supreme Self. And in recognizing that fact, the sages have sought to honor that nature through the worshipping of the Shakti, of the Mother. And this is how Mother worship became part and parcel and now has come to be the ultimate definition of this Navaratri, though it originally belonged to that second Navaratri in autumn, that is September, October, called Sharad Navaratri. But this Navaratri comes because Mother, Devi, is a symbol of life. Within a family, that earthly mother or that biological mother is the whole symbol of life, the backbone of that family. She who brings joy, she who everyone waits patiently to get home, she who brings a whole new atmosphere when she's around. She's the one who brings forth life in that family. But that bring forth of life is limited to the family. Collectively, in the village it is limited. In the country it is limited like this. So which motherhood is unlimited is called Amba. Amba means the gracious. Jagadamba, the universal mother. Gracious and universal mother, who is the mother who brought forth life to the whole cosmos. It is that mother who brings forth life, who brings energy, who brings activity. And that bringing of activity, that birth of activity, that manifestation of the phenomenal presence of flora, fauna, human being, and everything returning to their original state, we call it Vasant. It's spring actually manifests that truth. It manifests that return to life. And so that is celebrated through the worship of Mother. I think it is in this context that Mother worship became ingrained also in this first Navaratri, because it is, as the verse says, Sarva Shreyas Karim Sitam, that she who is responsible for the manifestation of all beings, Sarve Swarupe Sarveshe, Sarve Shakti Samanvite, Baye Byastra Hino Devi, Durge Devi Namostute. That salutation to who is Sarve Swarupe. All things are her forms. Sarveshe, she is present all over. The presence of the divinity in a manifestation of the phenomenal world is called Mother. It's called Shakti. So that she's worshipped and she's adored. We're talking now in another tradition where in the middle 1/3 of this Navaratri, Devi is worshipped as Mother Lakshmi. She who is most gracious and pleasant and represents the higher values, virtues that are not only necessary for living in this mundane world, but are necessary for the spiritual growth of the seeker, the spiritual growth of the sadhaka, you and I. Because you cannot grow spiritually if the field is not properly prepared. That is why many people have taken to spiritual path and have failed along the way, because they have not prepared a field. Like, you can have the best teachers, you can have the best environment, you can have the best equipment, the best technology, but if you are not prepared, and especially in the spiritual life, if you're not prepared for it, if you're not properly prepared, you will not be able to persevere, you will not be able to prevail along the spiritual path until you have come and go and prepare yourself. For example, you can prepare a land for planting. You can get all the best technology, you can get all the best saplings, all the best seeds, everything. But if the land is not properly prepared as it ought to be in accordance to the science, then what? It will not produce, it will not give the right yield. In the same way, the spiritual field, this body, this mind, this intellect has to be properly prepared for the light of spiritual knowledge, for the illumination of the divine to be realized, to be manifested from within. For that to happen, it requires plowing. Like the land requires plowing. It requires to be left to sun. It requires a certain amount of moisture, like that. So this spiritual life, for it to take on in leaps and bounds, it requires also certain preparation, and the preparation comes through the cultivation of the right thoughts, to use what is called Icha Shakti, the power of the will to cultivate the right values, the right virtues. And it is Mother Lakshmi who is Daivi. She's divine. Daivi Sampat, she represents a divine list, or the list of divine qualities. This is a Lakshmi. In fact, that is the wealth. That is the wealth for a good produce. Like the wealth for good produce is fertile land. It has to be fertile. It has to be prepared. And once that is prepared, that is the wealth. It is that which will bring forth the bounty of the crops, that will create the wealth. But without that wealthy land, what crops can you bring to grow wealth? None. In the same way, how do you manifest? What is the wealth necessary to manifest spiritually? It is this Icha Shakti, this will in us. So Mother Lakshmi is outwardly shown to us, as you see, beautiful, has all the things of great symbolism. But that Lakshmi is what is called Icha Shakti. It is inner in us. It is innermost in us. And that Icha, the outside image of Mother Lakshmi, is to attract the mind, is to use as a bridge to connect us to find the inner link of Icha Shakti, the will that helps us to harness the right thoughts, the right virtues, the right values, the right qualities, the right characteristics from within. Once these are properly harnessed, and in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna lists, you will see, he lists all the Daivi Sampad, all the divine qualities, and they are necessary for progress along the spiritual path. It is a lack of them. If you're not properly refined from within, the spiritual knowledge will bring nothing good to you. You will reach at a point that you will give it up ultimately, and then you will come and go until you are properly prepared. Like Swami Vivekananda, how many have not gone to Paramahamsa Ramakrishna? Did they get the experience of Vivekananda? No. How many have not gone to Swami Tapovanam? Did they get the experience as Swami Chinmayananda? How many have not gone to Swami Shivananda? Have they gotten, and these are the greatest teachers and saints of recent, have they gotten realization like Chinmayananda ji? No. It is because they were not properly prepared. Vivekananda was so prepared, in fact over prepared, that the moment Paramahamsa Sri Ramakrishna touched him, he fell into samadhi. This is called spiritual effulgence, spiritual power, spiritual glory, spiritual illumination. This is the real power. Mother Lakshmi represents it. It is the mundane idea that we have, that she represents the mundane wealth. And that is true, but that is just limited, meaning to say that is not the ultimate wealth. That is necessary to attain the ultimate spiritual wealth. So this is the mother. And this Navaraatri, in this middle phase, she's also worshipped and adored. I pray that her grace be with all of us until we meet tomorrow. and we continue this discourse. Until then, Jai Mata Di, Jai Siya Ram.